Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, it's a nice sunny day, but it's a smoky Sydney day because they're doing some back burning across Sydney to just burn off some of that fuel that has built up over the past few months with all the rain. And we have some ideal conditions at the moment, so the fireys are basically using this opportunity to reduce the fuel load where possible so that we don't have the big issues come summertime like we had last year. Anyway, it's still a delightful day. The weather's nice. There's a breeze which is coming from the west, southwest, I think, looking at those flags on the bridge. And the sun is warm, and it's Friday. It's Good Friday for the Eastern Orthodox Christians who are preparing for Easter, which is this Sunday, Easter Sunday. So what I thought I'd do is I'm also halfway through my fast at the moment, my water fast. So I'm 40 hours into my 80-hour water fast, and I'm feeling great. The first day was tough. Last night all I wanted to do was to lie on the couch and sleep, but the second day is always easier, and tomorrow I'll be on fire as I'm feasting on ketones. So the book that I want to cover today is entitled How to Be Alone by Sara Maitland. And it's an interesting sort of topic. It's one of those topics that people don't like to talk about all that often because in this Western world that we live in, being alone isn't a thing that people tend to celebrate. People want to be in relationships and to be with friends and family and to do lots of things together. But there is an element of benefit that we can all enjoy through making the most of solitude. And this book here talks about some of those benefits and how we can increase the moments that we have alone and to embrace them, to welcome them, and to enjoy them. So one of the quotes from this book, from this author, that she kicks off with is that relationships are part of a happy life. But no one said that you have to be social all the time. I guess from my perspective, I grew up as an only child. I didn't have brothers or sisters around me. And in many ways, I didn't have my parents around me all the time either, given that they were working 7 days a week to make ends meet, and we had our challenges in those first few years with our businesses. So I've not had the opportunity to grow up with lots of people around me, and I guess for that reason I really enjoy my own company even today. Even though I'm married, I've got children, I've got grandchildren, I've got lots of wonderful friends, I've got a healthy number of social connections via Facebook and from my work environment, but I do cherish the times that I have alone, and I can relate to a lot of the material that this author touches on in her book. So for those who want to explore and to make the most of their alone time, the author says that you can gradually improve the amount of time that you have by yourself by simply expanding the alone time that you have step by step until you're ready for more. And we have opportunities throughout the day to have our quiet time, our me time. We have it, I guess, on the way to work and on the way home when we're on a bus, where we've got time to ourselves that we can use more effectively and more efficiently. And we can simply expand the time and things that we do alone. For example, consider doing more solo activities, like going on a run, doing exercise, going to a gym, going to church. There are lots of things that you can incorporate into your daily lives that allow you to spend more time alone and to celebrate it and to experiment and to try it. So do longer sessions of solo activities, and try going on a solo advantage where you can build some self-awareness. So self-awareness through sessions of social adventure. So why would you want to spend more time by yourself? And the author talks about here that solitude leads to active imagination, something that made you very happy as a child. Now you look at children and you look at parenting these days, and parents just want to jam-pack their children's lives with activity after activity after activity. But when you're a child, one of the things that you really want to do is to spend some time on your own, just exploring, just experimenting, just daydreaming and being free to do nothing. So, we all need some time alone, and I reiterate it and I'll say it over and over again. As children, some of the best moments that we ever had was just sitting there playing by ourselves and daydreaming and being free to do it without having anybody wanting us to do something or to join them or to always be connected. Sometimes disconnection allows you to connect with the most important, people in your life, yourself and God. And the author goes on to say here that some of our best memories came from using our imagination while being alone as a child, and were invited to give it a go, to give it a chance. The author then moves on to her third formal point from this book, where she says, forget about psychology and just figure out what works for you. Too many people want to cling on to psychologists, want to spend too much time talking to their friends and other people about their problems. But the author here says, sometimes you're better off just relying on yourself. And to understand that whilst society tries to define you as being an introvert and an extrovert, the author here says that we are all introverts and extroverts depending on the contexts, and to not get sucked into the belief that one is better than the other. According to the author, it's great to be introverted at some point throughout the day and throughout your life, and it's great to be extrovert at some point throughout the day and throughout your life. And that some cultures have a different sort of bent and celebrate introvertedness and extrovertedness in different ways. For example, Western culture tends to value extroverts higher than introverts, whereas there are some Eastern cultures like Japan that tends to value introversion more than extroversion. So just figure out, I guess the message from this book is, just figure out what works for you. Forget about psychology, forget about science, forget about research. We are all different, we are all unique, and we all need to find out what works for us. So the last point to come from this author is to experiment and find out what works for you, and not to fear spending more time alone. Because the reality is, as we get older, as our lives change, as we grow and develop, we can make more room for spending more time with ourselves, and not to feel bad about it, not to feel uncomfortable about it, but to welcome it and to enjoy it. So that's it. That's this session of Jim's 5am Club, where we went through a book entitled How to Be Alone by Sara Maitland, and hopefully we've picked up a couple of points, a couple of valuable points, and a couple of life hacks to help us get through our lives, and not to worry about being disconnected every now and then, because being social is great. I love being social, but I love being social in bursts, short bursts. If I spend too much time socialising, it overwhelms me, it tires me out, it drains me, and dare I say, it would drain and overwhelm the people that I have around me as well. So in order to serve them and serve myself, it's good to have bursts, and to know that there are times where we need lots of social activity, and there are times that we need to back off and spend time alone. You know, the time that I spend on the bus reading book summaries, the time that I spend in the pool doing laps, the time that I spend going for walks and runs and exercising, is time that I can enjoy my own company. So I think we'll leave it there. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. My friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and make the most of your downtime. Make it most of your solo time, and embrace it, enjoy it, and don't feel bad about it. So I think I'll leave it there. So Yassas, take care, and we'll chat again from a different location with a different message, where we can be the wind beneath our wings and get through this day and enable us to live, learn, and pass it on. Hopefully it won't be too smoky for you today. For those who have health issues, asthma and other related respiratory issues, stay out of the smoke, and I look forward to chatting to you again. And I really enjoy these moments where we can, I guess, be together, be connected, but from a distance. Yassas, and bye for now.